Welcome back, folks, to another episode of Toadally Unimpressed, where I, Morty, the grumpus old man in the woods, take a gander at the latest nonsense the internet has to offer. Today, we're diving into a video titled How to Build a $10 Zero App with AI. Sounds fancy, doesn't it? But let's be real. If it were that easy, every squirrel in my bog would be a tech mogul by now. So, get ready for a wild ride through the land of overhyped promises and questionable advice. I can already smell the desperation from here. And it stinks worse than my bog after a rainstorm. If you're curious to see whether this video actually delivers or just serves up a steaming pile of digital fluff, stick around. And hey, if you enjoy watching me roll my eyes at the absurdity of it all, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Trust me, it's the least you can do for the grumpy old toad trying to make sense of this madness. Let's hop into it.
This app, and this app were all built without writing a single line of code themselves. But what if I told you that you could build your own $10,000 app in just a few hours using AI? And to prove it, I'm going to build an app together with you, specifically for this video.
The classic watch me do it tactic. Nothing screams credibility like someone claiming they can whip up a $10 zero app in a few hours while you sit there, popcorn in hand, wondering if you should be taking notes or just rolling your eyes. I mean, if it were that simple, I'd have a whole forest of apps by now, and believe me, they'd be way more entertaining than whatever this is. Let's see if this proof is as solid as a toad's back.
This video. First, we'll come up with a viral app idea. Then, we'll use Mobbin to legally replicate the designs of some of most famous apps in the industry. After that, we'll structure our app and use Cursor AI to build it. We'll use Supabase for the database and backend, and we'll set up DeepSeek's API as the main feature of our app. Finally, I'll show you how to upload your app to both the App Store and Google Play Store. I've never seen anybody else show the entire process of building apps with AI here on YouTube, so this video is the only video you will need to get started. Step 1. How to actually find a viral app idea. This is by far the most important step, and finding a viral app idea is all about solving a real problem in a simple way. But to do this, your idea must meet these 3 criteria. Once you understand these, you'll start seeing opportunities everywhere. So first of all, you need to identify a common problem. Find a problem that is extremely frustrating or emotional, because people download apps to solve their pain points. And remember to always write down your app ideas immediately when you come up with them, because if you don't, you'll just forget them. And
the classic advice to jot down your brilliant ideas before they vanish into the ether. It's like telling a toad to remember where it left its favorite rock. Good luck with that. But honestly, if your app idea is so fleeting that you can't remember it, maybe it wasn't that great to begin with. I mean, if I had a nickel for every half-baked idea I've seen, I'd be the richest toad in the bog. Let's see if this genius has anything more substantial up his sleeve.
Forget them. And once you have an idea, you can actually chat with ChatGPT and ask him if he thinks the idea is good or not. Point number 2, keep the app simple. Your app's core functionality should be able to be explained in 3 words or less. Here is a video of Blake Anderson explaining this very well.
You should be able to describe the unique nature of your app in 3 words. RizGPT, respond to girls. Umax, face analysis. CalAI, photo calorie counter. It really is that simple.
And the last criteria to find a viral app idea is to make it shareable. Your app should be so helpful to the pain point that the users just have to share it. So here's the app I'm building in this video. After working 20-hour days, I realized how unproductive multitasking actually is. Distractions like emails constantly break my focus, which means I'm no longer in a flow of deep work. So that's why I'm creating this all-in-one productivity tool that helps you sort and prioritize tasks. 2, deep work on one task at a time. And 3, chat with an AI to easily add tasks from the chat. Now the next step is to find viral app designs that we can legally replicate. And
The old legally replicate trick. Nothing says innovation like copying someone else's homework and hoping the teacher doesn't notice. It's like trying to pass off a toadstool as a gourmet mushroom. Good luck with that, if your app idea hinges on mimicking others. Maybe it's time to rethink your approach. Let's see how this plays out. I'm sure it'll be a wild ride through the land of questionable ethics.
And we're going to use more of this video. So right now I'm in Mobbin, and what you're seeing is literally a gold mine of 100,000 plus screenshots from apps like Duolingo, Spotify, Netflix, and a lot more. And here's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to steal their proven designs and user experience and let Cursor AI turn them into code for us.
There it is, the grand plan to steal proven designs. Nothing says creativity like swiping someone else's hard work and letting AI do the heavy lifting. It's like trying to win a race by hitching a ride on a passing car. Sure, you might get there faster. But where's the pride in that? If your app relies on copying others, You might as well just call it a day and save us all the trouble. Let's see how this unfolds. But I'm not holding my breath for originality here.
For us, because there is literally no reason to try to reinvent the wheel when we have access to proven app flows from big companies. This is exactly what we need. Now pay attention, because this is the exact process I use to find the designs for my apps. Click on the search bar and go to app categories. Here, you can choose the category that best fits your app. Since I'm creating a productivity app, I'll select that category. Now, from all these designs, I'm going to pick one that best fits my app idea. And I think this one is the perfect choice. And we're not just going to admire these designs. We are actually going to steal them, but
Well, if it isn't the admission of the century, steal is quite the choice of words. It's like a raccoon proudly declaring it's about to raid the trash can. If your strategy is to just swipe designs and call it a day, you might want to rethink your career path. Creativity, folks, it's not just for the birds, or in this case, the ninjas. Let's see how this stealing plays out, but I'm not expecting any awards for originality here.
going to steal them, but of course. Open Cursor and open the folder for your project. I've already created one and named it Deep Work AI. Inside that, create another folder called Docs. Then create a new file called context.md. If we now press Ctrl L, this opens up Cursor's AI chat, which is like ChatGPT, but way better, because it can actually see your project files by simply tagging them. So now paste in the context we got from ChatGPT and ask him to write this better for a markdown file, and then press Apply to add it in the context file. Then
The classic let AI do the heavy lifting move. It's like having a personal assistant who does all the grunt work while you sit back and sip your swamp water. But let's be real. If you're relying on AI to polish your writing, maybe it's time to brush up on your own skills. I mean, if I had a nickel for every time someone thought they could just outsource their creativity, I'd be the wealthiest toad in the bog. Let's see how this turns out, but I's not expecting a masterpiece here.
file. Then just quickly go through the file to make sure it includes what you want. Example like I did here. I just want the sign-in to be with email. And I know how much time it can take to figure out the right tech stack. That's why I've left the exact one I use in the description, so you can just copy it exactly as it is, because I've already gone through all that pain, so you don't have to. Then just paste it in the context file as well. So now, let's write this in the cursor interface. Give me the full database schema and the optimal folder structure of the app, and add this in the context file. Then, and this is super important, tag your context file by typing at and selecting files by pressing enter and then select the file. This tells Cursor AI to use your context file as reference. And now, just add the text to your context.md file. Open your terminal and type this command, npx create expo app at latest-e with router. Then give your project a name. I'll call mine Deep Work AI. When it's done loading, let's drag the docs folder we created right into our new project folder. Then type cd and your project name to navigate into its folder.
The classic command line navigation. It's like teaching a toad to hop through a maze. Simple for some, but a real head scratcher for others. If you can't figure out how to navigate your own project folder, maybe app development isn't your calling. But hey, at least it's a step in the right direction. Let's see if this leads to anything worthwhile or if we're just wandering in circles.
If you now type ls, you will see your current file location. So let's run the app, write npx expo start, and it will initialize the app. Then you'll see a QR code pop up. So just grab your phone, download the Expo Go app, and scan this code in your phone camera. And just like that, your app is running on your phone. I know it looks pretty basic right now, but isn't it fun to see it working? Let's keep going. Now press Ctrl I to open the Cursor Composer. And the Composer is the feature where it writes code for you just by writing in plain English. So let's ask it to build the app step by step by focusing on one task at a time, and then tag the context file. Now he just made the development plan, which the AI will use to know exactly what to build. So now let's ask him to start with the first task. Press accept, and let's press R in the terminal to reload the app. So I'll just copy the installation command and press Ctrl-Shift backtick to open a new terminal. Then use ls to list files, and then let's again use cd to open the project folder. And here we'll execute the command to install the required UI library.
The moment of truth, installing the UI library. It's like putting the icing on a cake you've barely baked. If this goes smoothly, great. If not, well, welcome to the world of coding chaos. Let's hope this doesn't turn into a debugging nightmare, because nothing says fun like tracking down errors in a sea of code. Fingers crossed this library doesn't throw a wrench in the works.
UI library. When it's done installing, head back to the terminal which is hosting the app. Click inside the terminal and press R to reload the app on your phone. Alright, now let's continue building the app. Just write continue in the composer. Now he will set up the configuration with Supabase for the database and authentication. So when he is done, let's accept and head over to supabase.com. Quickly make an account and then let's create a new project. I'll call it DeepWork AI. Now copy the public anonymous token, head back to cursor and navigate to the .env file. Remember to keep this token private. And in this file, we'll need to paste in the token in the anon key. Then go back to Supabase and copy the URL and paste this in the URL as well. If we now write continue in the composer one more time, he will continue building the login and sign up pages. So let's accept and click inside the terminal and press R to reload the app. And the same as before, when you have an error, copy it, paste it in the composer and prompt him to fix it. So we need to install a library.
The dreaded library installation. It's like trying to find the right key in a swamp full of muck. If this doesn't go smoothly, you might as well prepare for a wild goose chase through error messages. But hey, if you can get it sorted, you'll be one step closer to a functioning app. Let's see if this library plays nice or if it throws a tantrum.
Library. Just copy the command and head back to the other terminal, paste it in and run it there. When it's done, head back to the terminal that is running the app and press R. Nice! Now this is how the app is looking. We've set up the entire user authentication flow with both sign in and sign up pages. And since we use Supabase, it even sends out a verification email. So if we now log out and try to log into the account we just made, you'll see it works as well. And if we go to Supabase now, under authentication and users, we can see the account I just made in the app. So I spent the last 30 minutes continuing to build the app, and this is what it looks like right now. We can create new tasks, give it a title, set the priority of the task, give it a description, and set a deadline for when the task should be done. And now, if we click on the task, we can start the focus timer, which then counts how much time you've spent on this specific task, and we can also mark it as complete. As you can see, the app does not look good yet, so
Well, there it is, the classic "it doesn't look good yet" moment. It's like showing off a half-baked cake and saying, "Trust me, it'll taste great." But hey, at least it functions, right? Just remember, functionality doesn't always equal aesthetics. If this app were a toad, it'd be the one hiding under a rock, hoping no one notices its warts. Let's see if they can polish this up a bit.
So now, let's improve the UI. Head back to Mobbin, and let's go through the designs we want to use for our app. When you find pages you'd like to take inspiration from, press Ctrl+C to copy them, head back to cursor and paste in the pictures in the composer chat, and continue doing this for all the inspiration pages. When you're done, let's ask the composer this. Use these pictures as inspiration for my app design in the entire, and then let's tag the code base. This will have cursor look through the entire project. And when it's done, click accept. And now let's have a look at the app again. Wow. Just like that, the app looks 100 times better.
Well, now that's a transformation. It's like putting a fresh coat of paint on a dilapidated shed, and suddenly it looks like a cozy cottage. Who knew a little design inspiration could work wonders? This app actually looks usable now, and I might even consider giving it a whirl. If I weren't so busy croaking about the state of the internet. Let's see if they can keep this momentum going.
100 times better by Now for setting up the AI chat using DeepSeek API, let's write this in the cursor composer. Build the AI chat feature from @developmentplan.md. Nice. Now just accept it, and let's navigate over to the env file. Now we need to copy the DeepSeek API key placeholders here into the env file. And then we need the DeepSeek API key from platform.deepseek.com and paste it here in the env file. And remember, if you are confused about anything, you can just ask the cursor chat. You open it by pressing Ctrl+L. Now let's reload the app again by pressing R in the terminal, and let's check out if it works. Here we can see the new AI chat, and if I now write, "I need to buy a new toothbrush and tidy my bedroom," and submit, great. The AI feature adds tasks on the first try.
Well, look at that. The AI feature actually works on the first try. Color me impressed. It's like finding a shiny pebble in a muddy bog. If it can handle task management without throwing a fit, maybe there's hope for this app after all. Let's see if it can keep this winning streak going.
So now for the low.
Well folks, it looks like we've sludged our way through the murky waters of how to build a $10 zero app with AI, and let me tell you, it was a wild ride. More ups and downs than a rabbit on a pogo stick. We witnessed some classic online tomfoolery, the promise of a quick and easy app, a heap of stealing designs, and a few eye-roll-inducing claims about AI doing all the heavy lifting. I mean, if every squirrel could whip up an app in minutes, I'd be out of a job watching my so-called tech-savvy neighbors. As for whether my initial skepticism was justified, absolutely. If there's one thing I've learned from this so-called tutorial, It's that sometimes simplicity is just a euphemism for a lack of substance. Sure, there were a couple of bright spots, like that app looking somewhat decent in the end, but overall, it felt like trying to dress up a swamp creature and convincing everyone it's a prince. So what's my final verdict? Well, if you want to throw time and money at an idea that's basically a clone of someone else, be my guest. But if originality is your game, you might as well go play hopscotch in a bog, because you're better off getting your own ideas out there instead of recycling someone else's. And remember, folks, learning to navigate command lines isn't the same as being a wizard in app development. Just because you can call the dragon doesn't mean you can ride it. Now, if you enjoyed watching me roll my eyes and croak about the absurdity of this project, do me a favor, like this video, and subscribe to my channel, Toadally Unimpressed. It'll keep me from hopping back into my bog in despair. Until next time, stay unimpressed. My friends.